And this is how Ghana drew 1-1 with Nigeria. Mahama, let me first of all start from you. Now, in this game, for instance, we took the lead. I'm sure Nigeria is preparing for the World Cup, so therefore there might be some bit of cautiousness in their game. But for we had nothing to lose. We should have gone all out. We took the lead against Nigeria, and we gave the lead out.
I think I was a bit surprised that we were unable to hold on to our lead. We had a very decent first 45 minutes. We controlled the game, we created the chances, and then we nullified Nigeria's attack. And in the second half, I don't know what happened. There wasn't any change, but I realized that Ghana sat back and the Nigerians built momentum until they got the equalizing goal. I don't know if the coach just wanted to see the game through because it was the opening game. I don't know if there was any pressure coming from any angle because personally, I don't see where pressure should come from. So I don't know why the team had to change their tactics in the second half. After we considered the equalizing goal, then we went on trying to get another goal. But then there was no time for us to get that goal. But then this is the opening game, and this is against Nigeria. This is a team that has been a thorn in our flesh. They are our bitterest rivals. So I think we just need to take this point in good faith and then hope that we can be able to bounce back in our next game and then get the desired result. For me, I think the most important thing about this whole competition is not to actually go on and win the competition. We are hosting the competition. There's so much pressure on this team because when we played in the African Cup of Nations, we were unable to secure qualifications to the World Cup. When we played in the WAFU U20 Championship, we lost in the final to Nigeria. So there's somehow a bit of pressure on this team to be able to win this current competition. But I don't think there should be any pressure on this team. The main goal is to develop the players and ensure that they get a smooth path to play for the Black Stars. Look, it's important that we integrate these players very well. And yesterday, I saw a much different Black Stars team compared to the team that I saw at the WAFU U20 Championship in Togo, compared to the team that I saw at the All-African Games hosted here in Ghana, and the team that I saw in the African Cup of Nations. Yesterday, I saw a team that had a chunk of the players playing in the local league, the likes of Blaise Ege, the likes of Abdulaziz Misbah, who has been playing for the team over the years and has scored in almost every competition that we've played in since he joined the team. He scored at the All-African Games. He scored at the WAFU U20 Championship in Togo. He scored yesterday. And even at the African Cup in Morocco, he was the one who scored our goal for us in the game against DR Congo. So it's something that I'm hoping to see, that these players get a smooth path. It's a much different team compared to the teams that I've seen in the past. But I think we still have some solid players in this team that I'm hoping that they are going to get smooth progression to the Black Stars. Always when I speak about progression, I use Spain as the case study.
Okay.
The Spain national team currently has Luis de la Fuente as their coach. And Luis de la Fuente has coached the team at multiple junior levels. He also coached the team at the Olympic level. So he knows the players that he's playing with. And even the current team that they have, most of the players have played for the junior teams. You look at the team that played for them in the 2020 Olympic Games. You have the like of Marc Cucurella, Zubimendi, Unai Simon, Mikel Merino, Pedri, all were part of this team. The team that represented them in the 2024 Olympic Games. It's a similar thing. So I think we need to create a very good environment for these players. Because look, the culture of football in this country is gradually dying. It's not only with the Black Stars. And it's almost with every national team. And this has started to do with the progression, the player development. And if we are able to get this right, I think we will be up there in the coming years. There are a chunk of good players in this team. And I'm hoping that this competition will not be the last time that we are going to see them.
Okay.
We are going to give them a very, very good path. We are going to build a proper plan for them so that we can be able to see them play for the Black Stars in the coming years.
But let me come to you. I mean, where within this team do you think that we should be focusing on? There is no World Cup. We are done with AFCON. And this is just a preparatory tournament for those that are going to partake in the World Cup. But for we as Ghanaians, where we should channel our energy so far as building the under-20 is concerned?
I think every national team, the backbone of every national team is its under-20 and also juvenile side. It's very important you have a proper juvenile side so that the transition will move smoothly. It's sad we are not playing the FIFA World Cup, U20 World Cup. It's very sad. But then again, it does not take away of we establishing a very good under-20 so far the national team is concerned. And for me, I am very conscious and also mindful of what we are doing. Why? Because this is a country that we are living under this administration, brought up a documentary book named The DNA of Ghana Football. And when the DNA of the Ghana football work, it all boils down to the juvenile side. That's where you need to start. And when you speak to people who contributed to bringing out this DNA book, they will tell you that one figure or one personality who was part of bringing out this, establishing this book is Desmond Ofer, the U20 coach. So having him to led this under-20 national team shows us some sort of indication that we are in the right direction. And I've said it yesterday that, look, we are living in a country again. We talk and also we put pen to paper, but implementation has been difficult for us. We can say it and then talk about it, but we are not implementing it. Okay. We've been talking about the transition of the U20 to the national team for many years, but ask yourself, how many players have get the opportunity to play in the national team? It's quite difficult. And I've been asking myself, when the likes of Kudus, when the likes of Partey, when the likes of Jordan Ayew faded out, who are the next generation to take over? Okay. Are we again going back to go to Europe, scout, and then bring them, or we need to focus on what we are doing? So we are not having any tournament to play. Other national teams are having the FIFA World Cup to play, but it should not block any chances of, in terms of progressing these players to play in the national team. Okay. I've said it, we have the World Cup qualifying games. It is a perfect opportunity for us to get 1 or 2, 3 players to be in the national team, to play in the qualifying games with us, and then see what will happen so far the World Cup is concerned. For the national team, again, we are not playing the African Cup of Nations, but less pressure. This is an opportunity that brings less pressure. There is no pressure, no national team assignment, talking about the U20 and also the national team. What we have is the qualifying game. So let's prepare the team. I think results should not be the ultimate goal in this tournament. Okay. It's about how we play, the game plan, the strategy, how the connection of the players, how they come together and play gel as a team. That's the most important thing. And in the first game, drawing with Nigeria is not a big blow. I think Nigeria in our previous game have been difficult for the Stallion to get a better side of the Nigerian national team. So a draw is fair enough. Okay,
Rahman, we know how important this competition is to our Nigerian brothers because they are going all the way to the world to compete against the best out there. Now, looking at the game itself yesterday, was Ghana able to give that kind of competition or enough reasons for Nigerians to be able to know the weaknesses within their team yesterday?
Yeah, I think Ghana was able to give them a bit of that dose. Because like I said previously, that in the first half, it was a game that we completely dominated. We created almost the best chance of the game, and it should have been even be 2 or 3 goals up by the time that we went into the break. Okay. But in the second half, the Nigerians came back stronger. I think they worked on where they realized where they were making mistakes. They rectified those mistakes, and then they came back biting at it. So for the Nigerian team, I feel they were able to take note of the mistakes that they did in the first half, and they came back stronger in the game. For them as well, I'm quite sure that the ultimate goal for them is not to win this competition, but the ultimate goal for them is also to try their team and see what they can be able to do at the World Cup. I know there are some few players who are likely to feature for them at the World Cup and are not currently in this WAFU squad. So this WAFU squad, again, just like the Ghana team, that is massively dominated by local players. It's also similar with the Nigeria team. And then it's so huge for them because some of these players know that it's a sort of a justifier inclusion for them. They know they need to do so well at this competition. If they don't do so well, then they are putting their position in their position or their slots in the team for the World Cup in jeopardy. So it's mandatory for them to do so well. So I think the Nigerian team, yes, they were able to see their mistakes from the game, from the first 45 minutes against us, and they came back in the second half. They were able to rectify their mistake. Look, the Nigerian team is a well-coached team. Okay. Throughout the game yesterday, you can hear the voice of their coach in every single moment. Okay. Making noise. You are not pressing so well. Your pressing is not well coordinated. Throughout the game, the coach was on the third line, telling the players what to do, telling them where the ball should go and where the ball shouldn't go, telling them not to push the ball into the crowd, but try and create spaces for themselves. And that, I think, worked marvelously well for them in the second half. The Nigeria team is a very, very good team. And like Obaya said, I don't think this is a huge blow for us. It's Nigeria. Yes, we must beat them. The bar shouldn't be so low. The aim is that we beat them we go to the end of the competition and then what? And then we win the cup. But drawing the first game against them is not something that we should cry so much about. There are other games that we can bounce back on. But like I said previously, let's make sure that the player development is the most important thing. I know there's pressure on this team. I know there's pressure on Coach Desmond Ofe because for he himself, he knows so well that when he went to the African Cup of Nations, he disappointed us. So he knows that he needs to win this one to at least bring a smile on the face of Ghanaians. So there is some sort of pressure on him. Okay. But today, I wouldn't say I'm urging him, but my advice is that he should take off that pressure off himself. The key thing is the player development. Okay. If he wins the cup for us, we Ghanaians are sane people. We Ghanaians know it when we see our team play beautiful football. The Lion Kingston team that played in the qualifiers and was unable to qualify. We were sad that the team was unable to qualify. But we took some sort of pride from the fact that the team played very, very well. So I think it will be similar with Coach Desmond Ofe. Okay. Even if he doesn't win the competition, we want to see his team play very, very well. We want to see good football.
Okay, but yesterday, you raised a very good point, and I just want us to take a critical look into this. Now, we always boast of Ghana having a pool of, talent. Anytime that we want to see talented players on the continent of Africa, Ghana is there. But then again, where it mattered most, that is where Ghana always flatter to deceive. Now, yes, we went to the tournament, we couldn't qualify, we can't go back to the drawing board, correct our mistakes. We've been saying this time and time and time again. Yet, the problem keeps occurring. And the question comes back to who is doing something that is not being able to help in our progress. When it comes to talent, we will see a Ghanaian coach putting up a very solid team during qualifiers. And we will see the same manager using different players at the tournament that he was able to raise a very good team during the qualifiers. All of a sudden, the first 11 will change. Players from nowhere will be slotted into the team. Then it will just destabilize the team. Who should be blamed and what can we do so that we will correct the wrongs and make sure we will always be able to see our young guys playing at the highest level?
And if you could remember, if you could recall yesterday, I talked about the mentality. Our mentality that we have in this country is not helping our football. The mentality that we have is more of let's try something to get what we want personally, not something that will help the country as a whole. And for me, I'll push it direct to the doorstep of the Ghana Football Association. When it comes to the Kudus transfer, I'll pick one thing that is somehow controversial, and you understand me when you read them. And as I said, it boiled down to the mentality that we have in this country. And I'll push it to the doorstep of the Ghana Football Association. Now, you are assembling national team, you are assembling players. What is the mindset of assembling those players to get them to play in the national team? I said yesterday that, look, when we have a proper juvenile side, look, there is no way our senior side, and our senior talking about the Black Stars, will suffer. In 2010, when we won the World Cup in 2009 in Egypt, Milo did not struggle. Milo picked the core of the team straight to Angola for the AFCON. After that, the core of the team again with some few experienced players add them up to play in South Africa for the World Cup in 2010. Milo did not struggle in terms of going out scouting players because the U20 were good. And we just need to give them the opportunity. The Opoko Anjiman, the Samuel Nkum, you can name them. And we had Idris Ape and John Pistol, Kujo Asamoah to the team. We are good to go. But ask yourself, in the modern, now the football to our rebrand himself, we are talking about young players who can play for them to understand what you want them to do on the field of play. But is it the same in this country? Look at Spain national team. Look at the likes of Pedri, Gavi, Lamia. How old are they? How old are they? Luis Kelly of Arsenal, how old is he? But he's playing for Arsenal. He's starting for Arsenal. Okay. But when we come to the national team, they will tell you that looking at his age, he's not capable of playing the national team. It does not help us. It will never help us. Football has changed. We also need to change. But I told you that it's the mentality. When our mentality is not changing, King, you'll be here we will revisit this same issue and we'll be saying that, oh, our team did not qualify. We are again going to the drawing board to rectify our mistake. We'll come back. Look, if the Senegalese are able to do it right, if the Nigerians are able to do it right,
if the Moroccans are doing it right,
why can't we do it right?
Exactly.
Why can't we do it?
So
it boiled down to their mentality. If our FA and his people will change their mentality, the right path will be there for us.
Shaibu, isn't it a worry enough? I mean, we all know that, players from the back door at the major tournament, for that one, is inevitable. Definitely it will happen. But it boils down to the manager, that is the coach, to know exactly his business at that international stage. Now, between two players, the one who is supposed to play and the one who wants to play, it is the prerogative of the manager to know between these two. But we always find ourselves in a situation whereby it looks like the coach just took the team and he's at the major tournament. And I think that if we are not being able to deal with all these things, it will be most of the factors that will affect the team on and on and on and on.
I would like to use the team that played for us at the Under 20 AFCON as a case study over here. When you look at that team, a chunk of that team were part of the players that played for us at the All African Games.
Okay.
You have Jerry Efriye.
The one we won, right?
The one that we won, the All African Games.
Okay.
You have Jerry Efriye in the team. You have Emmanuel Mensah in the team. You have Abdulaziz Misbaho in the team. You have Masuel Afokpe in the team. All these guys were part of the team that played for us at the All African Games. The same couple of players played for us at the WAFU U20 Championship in Togo. And part of that same squad played for us at the AFCON. Where I see or where I spot the problem from is that there are certain positions or there are certain players that were not fully available for the competition.
Okay.
Look at someone like Jerry Efriye, for instance, who we can say undoubtedly that is the team's key player, is the team's best player. Look at the kind of presence that we saw from Jerry Efriye. Jerry Efriye was playing for Ghana at the competition half-heartedly, because there were times that he came to the competition, went back to Spain, came back again, and did what? And started again.
Yeah.
So I feel the reason why we are somehow liking is that, look, we tend to consider certain minor things, and we don't see these minor things to be important. And these minor things compound to become huge problems that we, at the end of the day, end up facing. And that, as a result, end up seeing as what? Fail to secure progression or qualification to some of these major tournaments. The team that I was talking of, for instance, for the coach, for instance, he was over-reliant on individual players instead of getting the team to play together. You watch our games and you realize that most of the players were trying to play individual football instead of playing as a team.
Okay.
When we won the All African Games, we had players who
stood up.
We had players who stood up individually on occasions. Jerry Efriye, for instance, stood up in the final. In other games, you had other players, Emmanuel Mensah and so on, stepping up on occasions. But as a team, we played very, very well. You can see the coordination, you can see the telepathy and all that on the football pitch. But when we went to the African game, the AFCON, the team was playing more individual. So many players trying to take glory. So many players trying to, I don't know. You see, and one thing that I feel is the problem is that when these boys get the chance to play at this stage, they feel it's a chance for them to sell themselves. Okay. Maybe there's an agent somewhere watching them, so they try to play the individual game more. But what they don't know is that the white man is very smart. The white man can spot a player even without kicking the ball. Even during warm-up, they can spot who a good player is. So you don't have to go into the competition and play individually.
And who is supposed to, give proper orientation to these boys? Because they are still boys. So they should be given the right orientation for them to understand that if the team is successful, everybody among the team will be in the spotlight. Exactly. But so if we exit competitions from the group stage, from the knockout phase, and not being able to even be among the best four at the semi-finals, where will you be? And it doesn't add an additional value to you, the player.
Of course. So if there's any person that I'm going to blame for this, then it's a coach.
Okay.
the coach is the person I'm going to, because you have the chance to talk to the players. And if the player is not doing something right, you can call the player and tell him, look, I don't want you to be doing this. I want you to do this. I want you to do this.
Okay.
We've seen that on numerous occasions at almost every angle. We've seen coaches make bold decisions. And I feel for the recent AFCON, for instance, our coach disappointed us.
Okay.
He was a total failure for the competition because what I expected from him wasn't what I saw.
Okay.
How is it that a player sat in a plane, went to Spain, came back, didn't even train, in less than 12 hours to a game, you start the same player? What sort of message are you even sending to the other players? I understand that he's a key player, and then you need him in most occasions. But what sort of message are you sending to the other players? In some sense, there's a reason why you took about 23 or 26 man squad to the competition, because it felt like almost every player in the squad can make an impact. We've seen bench players, we've seen players who are seated on the bench come into games and make an impact. So if you take a 23 man squad, you should have the faith that all the players in the squad can be able to guarantee you results. You don't go on and then start another player, a player who has sat in the plane, and then come back, you start the same player. The focus is not on what happened at the recent game, but then the focus is on how we are going to build our team.
As a country.
As a country. So the focus should be on what? Telling the players not to go into competitions, trying to play individual football. And if there's someone who can do that, then I think it's the coaches. The coaches must gather the cojons to do all that. The coaches must gather the cojons to put the right players. The coaches must gather the coaches to tell the player when they are not doing the right thing, to do the right thing. So all I'm going to say is that
I agree.
Everything lies on the coaches.
Kin, 1 minute. I did not get a chance to watch the game. So I was listening to Mama when he was talking because he had the chance to watch the game. And I was waiting for him to say one thing that is affecting our juvenile side. We could say the likes of Yami Yama are young. When you see Yami Yama, as you are talking right now, holidays, is partying with the big girls, enjoying life, having it. And we look at him and we say that, is it a guy who has been trained at home? But when you come on the field of play, when you are talking about decision making, they are the same age mates with our own players. So I was listening to him, trying to, whether he will bring about decision making on the field of play. When we look at our boys, decision making is difficult for our young boys. Laimi Yama, Kubas, these are young players, but Laimi Yama in twinkle of a minute will change the game for you. The decision maker on the field of play is spot on.
When it is time to party, they party. When it is time for the real business to
but
you see them.
That is still down on the development.
Development.
Yes,
absolutely.
Because at age 5, they are already playing football. They know what they are up to. You understand? At age 5, these guys are already playing with the football. I had one footballer who had a chance to go and play with Nottingham Forest. When he came, he was telling me that, Charlie, Chema, because over there, at age 5, at age 6, age 7, what these kids can do with the ball, over there at that young age, by age 10, the young players are already exposed to the tactical know-how on the football pitch. They know where they are supposed to stand. They know what they are supposed to do anytime that they get the ball, anytime that they get on the final third. But over here in Ghana, you even watch the Ghana Premier League, for instance. You see players who have played in the league. And they are making poor decisions on the football pitch.
No wonder Fatawi Shaku that we were hailing when playing the Ghana Premier League, even at the under-20 level, having won the WAFU and then the Cup of Nations, was sent to the juvenile team of Sporting Lisbon, that he still need to be developed. So it tells you the kind of football.
And look at the sort of player that he developed into. After he had the chance to play for Sporting, he went to the championship and had the chance to play under a very good coach. Look at how the kind of player that he developed into. So for I think it's a development. This children,
let's move on from this one. Let me quickly remind our viewers that Ghana's next game will be on Tuesday against Benin, 3 p.m. So the next game for the national under-20 team, that is the Black Satellite of Ghana, will be on Tuesday, 3 p.m. against Benin. But we have 2 games coming on today in the WAFU Under-20 games going on at Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence, Pram. And today's games will be Cote d'Ivoire coming face-to-face against Burkina Faso, 3 p.m. And again, later tonight, 6 p.m., will be the turn for Niger to also take on Togo. So Cote d'Ivoire versus Burkina Faso, and then Niger versus Togo. So these are the two games for you in the ongoing WAFU Zone B Under 20 Championship in Ghana here. So just take good note of that. Now, let's quickly switch attention to Morocco, where two games were played yesterday. It was a goalless draw between Tunisia and Algeria. Baba, we said a lot about this North African clash. We know the rivalry between them. But then again, we thought Algeria had given us something to boast of coming up against Tanzania that were, not in the best shape during their first game. But they gave a very good account to themselves against Algerians.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said yesterday, this is a side that understand each other very well. They are from the same side. So going past each other is going to be difficult. It's going to be a game that is difficult for one to lose, especially Tunisia, knowing what is at stake and also what they need to do to get qualification to the next stage. I think so far the third best placed team qualification is concerned, what you need to do is get points that can guarantee you and they make you qualify. And I think they had 1 point. In addition to this, I think they have 2 points in their group. So if they are able to even draw their last... and talking about Tunisia.
No, Tunisia have a point.
They have a point.
Yeah, they lost their first game to Nigeria.
So now they have 1 point in their group. So if they are able to win their game, they will qualify to the next stage of the competition. So it's a very good taste for them. Algeria have it all. They are well organized side. So coming to face this side, you need to do your homework, right? And I think Tunisia did exactly that.
And Tunisia's next game will be against Botswana. And Botswana are technically out of the competition because they've lost all the two games.
So Tunisia have chance to qualify.
They can still qualify as one of the best.
Absolutely. That is the more reason why I said technically looks like they are going out of the competition. Absolutely. But what about Nigeria? Nigeria, against all odds, we were rooting for them to have scored 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals. But it turned out to be an extremely difficult game for Nigeria yesterday.
Yeah, they came up against a dodgy Botswana team. And then yesterday, I thought the Botswana team defended very, very good, especially the goalkeeper. She did so well to stop Nigeria from putting the ball at the back of the net. And Nigeria, for them, I think the star players didn't live up to the occasion. And it's a reason why someone like Payne and then Oshola were all substituted at some point in time in the game because they were not playing to the way the coach wanted them to. They were not playing to the levels that we all know them to play. So for Nigeria yesterday, they were not at their best. But sometimes in competitions like this, you don't need to be at your best to win the games. All you just need to do is that just make sure you see the game through. And that was what Nigeria have been able to do. Now they secure progression to the knockout rounds. Winning against Botswana yesterday ensured that they now have 6 points, and that is enough. So the most important thing for them is just to win the game. We were expecting them to wallop Botswana, but that didn't happen. But at the end of the day, they were still able to get that late goal and then secure progression to the knockout rounds. So for Nigeria, it's a done deal for them into the knockout rounds. Now in their final game against Algeria, they will have the chance, they will have the opportunity to try other players going into the competition. These players that are going to try might come on and then they might end up being the players going to get them the results. So Nigeria is good for them that they've been able to secure progression very, very early. Now in their last game against Algeria, they can use that as an exhibition or as a test match to try the other players that they have, the other players that haven't been able to feature in their opening 2 games.